Thank you very much, Steve. And I'm really happy today to have this webinar with these two wonderful women, wonderful models of women leaders in Sub-Saharan Africa, who I've known both of for quite a long time. Abigail Ikango Awanga, she is an ELT teacher in a state secondary school on the outskirts of Yaoundé in Cameroon. She's been in the field for 19 years. Adult English, French, WhatsApp, English language course instructor. She is so passionate about instructional technology. You might have seen her on WhatsApp delivering courses to many, many different countries on WhatsApp and training so many people. She trains English language teachers on how to use basic digital skills and tools for teaching and for managing communities of practice. So useful. She's the founder of English Language Teaching Women Cameroon. And she's also the events coordinator for IATEFL Global Issues SIG. She's been doing some great work there as well. And she's worked for ELT consultants too. Then we have Marie Bonse. She is a certified English teacher at the Lycée in Manga, Burkina Faso. She has over 10 years experience. She's been actively involved in professional and community networks, serving as the Deputy General Secretary of Burkina English Teachers Association, BETA, and the President of Bright English Teachers Club of Zudweogo. She's a Fulbright TEA 2023 alumnus, and she completed the female leadership programs with Africa ELTA as well. She is passionate about girls' education, environmental protection. I remember lessons she did underneath a tree in the schoolyard, which was so motivating. And she advocates for youth empowerment, sustainable development through English language education. So I'm very happy to hand you over to Abigail and Marie. Over to you, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you, Linda, for introducing us for this quite inspiring webinar. And I just do hope that participants will be leaving here with something useful to go back to their TAs with. Like you both just said, Steve and Linda, we shall be talking about how to empower females in our teacher associations. We have the following objectives by the end of the webinar. We are expecting everyone to identify barriers and challenges faced by women in TAs. We shall be showcasing initiatives, discuss successful empowerment strategies from various countries, and lastly, sharing best practices and experiences. Before we start our webinar, we'll be happy for you to use the chat box to answer these three questions. You're not obliged to answer all the three. You can just give an answer to the questions that inspire you. How important is it to have women in educational leadership? That's one. What impact does female leadership have on students and communities? Is the situation the same in all countries in Sub-Saharan Africa? Please share your comments in the chat. Any question that inspires you, that's fine. You can provide an answer. Barash, it's very important. I agree. Yeah, situations do vary, Linda. I also agree. Zaini, it's very important to have women in leadership in our TAs. That's true. It's very important to empower women. Dr. Kai Heifialu, thank you. Females are naturally compassionate. That's true, Leticia. Yes, they have great impact like mothers. Oh, yeah, I agree. Of paramount importance. Impact is inspiring other females. Yes, Zaini. Yeah, not the same. Would have the opportunity to try to compare the challenges and some of the solutions together. Role models. Okay. Time constraints will not be able to read all the comments, but we can as well engage in the chat. So let's look at the image, the cartoon representation, and tell us how true is this cartoon in your country? So while telling us how true the cartoon is, you could equally name some specific challenges in the chats that we women encounter. So while you're using the chat to tell us how true you identify to this image as a female, I would also want to add that the image is an illustration of what we call the glass ceiling, because glass ceiling are the invisible challenges that hinder women most of the time to evolve in their various professions. So can you name some specific challenges in the chat? I know 99.9% of the females in here would identify to this image. In Ethiopia, that's true. Women are taking the lead. Okay, that's nice. Family, children, household chores, cultural barriers, community outlook. I agree. Cultural barriers, cultural variation. Yeah. And that could be very annoying at some point because you're stranded between being loyal to tradition and trying to break through. Men feel insecure when women take lead. Wow. Apami, which country is that? I'd like to know. Gender stereotype, I agree. In my country, women in power also need to work at home too. That's so unjust for us. Challenges can be that women are trapped in their family role, typically housewives with religion constraints. Yeah, that's true. Just what uh, the image illustrates. So many of us are talking about gender stereotypes, gender bias. We can really identify to the same challenges. Less attention for females. I think that's neglect or they underestimate the skills of the women, work-life balance. And I always ask myself, why does work-life balance not concern men? Whenever we talk about work-life balance, it's always about women, home tax responsibilities. Okay, we can keep reading the chat till tomorrow. Let's try to identify the challenges we we had. We've already mentioned most of the challenges that we could gather. The first we have here is sociocultural obstacles, for example, gender bias and stereotypes. You've talked about it in the chat. You see, the way the society looks at women when they portray a particular attitude makes it look negative, while they want to make it look normal for the men. If a woman is outspoken, they'll tend to say she's arrogant. They tend to see her outspokenness as something arrogant because they believe that women should be always quiet and humble, which is not the case with men. When a woman is single, for instance, they'll tend to say she's desperate. Meanwhile, the man is single because he hasn't found the right one. So there's a long list of these stereotypes that are significant hindrance to females evolving or taking leadership roles in our TAs. We also have lack of access to resources and training. And this is particularly because the women have to choose between their domestic roles or domestic calls and attending trainings. The men are always free to go for trainings. Meanwhile, the women would have to think about who to leave the kids with, who to cook the food. They are always entangled in all of this. And that makes it difficult for them to be always available for research and to go for trainings. Thirdly, we identified limited representation in leadership roles, which to me is a straight consequence of challenge number two. Of course, if you have no time for resources or research and no time for training, it's normal that you not have the courage to want to go in for leadership roles because you might not know how to go about it. And number four, low self-esteem. Low self-esteem is something women really suffer from. It's a huge challenge. Some are born with low self-esteem and some develop low esteem by the way they are treated, maybe by their spouse or the way they grew up, and which is a significant challenge as well. So which solutions do you think we can have to all of these challenges? I can see in the chat box that we all have the same ideas expressed in various ways. Lack of support from spouse, very, very important. So many of us tend to step down or feel discouraged because our spouses do not support us. Someone said that when the female takes the lead here, the men become scared. And so that's usually the case with so many women who've got potential, but unfortunately cannot move on with their professional career because of complex spouses. Yes, someone is talking about mentorship. Very important. We shall be mentioning it in the next slides. So some of the solutions we could gather. We think that it is important that we launch campaigns to challenge and change perceptions about women's roles in leadership. It's important that we talk to people about the positive side of having women take leadership roles. Sensitize the public because it's not only the men that have this complex. So many of us women who have grown into these stereotypes and this bias, of course, share the view that the woman is not meant for leadership and that leadership is only for the men. Implement training for both men and women on gender sensitivity and importance of female leadership. Like I said above, we shouldn't blame only the men. Even the women need to understand that they can do it, that they can take leadership roles and can be good at that. Integrate leadership and management training into teacher education programs to equip women with necessary skills. I even think this should be obligatory at some point because when these leadership and management trainings are optional, the women would scarcely go for it because they've got other family constraints. So why not make it obligatory for the women to go for leadership and management trainings at least once in a term so that everyone would have the same chances and opportunities. Create mentorship programs that connect aspiring women leaders with experienced female role models in education. Very important. Mentorship is the game changer. If the women are exposed to mentorships, they would be able to grow up their skills, and why not try to challenge the men in the leadership roles. I am a product of the Africa ELTA female mentoring program, and I learned a lot back then in 2020 about leadership and female empowerment. I would also want to say about solution number 4, that is important for inspiring female leaders to be accessible, to be available. When you are a female leader that many people look up to, please make some time to be available for the other females. Try to tell them about how you run your activities, where you get the courage, where you get the energy. It's important because when you're an aspiring female who isn't available, who isn't accessible, you do a lot of harm to the other female folks because you cannot encourage them and the frustration grows deeper. Okay, so now it's time to talk about successful empowerment initiatives. We have case studies from 8 different African countries. Please, this doesn't mean that the strong female leaders that we have in our TAs are found only in these 8 countries. For time constraints, we were unable to talk about the many women doing amazing work all over Africa. So we could just talk about 8 of them, and we would be mentioning as many of them in the chat box as possible. Marie is supposed to take this part, but since Cameroon is among the female leaders we'll be mentioning, I would like to talk about ALT women before I give the floor to Marie, if you don't mind. So English Language Teaching Women Cameroon was founded in 2021 by myself. And this is a platform where Cameroonian English language teaching women come together to talk about their challenges, discuss solutions, and empower each other. We've done so much work, and we'll have the time to share our link in the Telegram group so you can browse through the website where we share our activities and get to know about what we do. And we do a lot of networking with other female teachers from other countries. We organize webinars to talk about important teaching activities with as many African female teachers from other African countries as possible. We do a lot of health talk sensitization in our classrooms. And this year, particularly, we've been talking about sickle cell, sensitizing our learners about sickle cell anemia, how to prevent and how to keep the future society safe from sickle cell. We also have been sponsoring teachers to our national conference for 2 years now. And we will be having a conference in a few weeks. And we shall be sponsoring 3 teachers who have accepted proposals to the conference. This is to encourage the women to be exposed to opportunities, to get used to international conference environment and public speaking. We also do a lot of work on mental health. We have a partnership with a mental health specialist who does a one-on-one follow-up with the females. Those who can talk about their mental health challenges are being consulted by a specialist, and so she follows many women in the group. And this year we launched Inspire magazine, which is a magazine that talks about exciting stories from female teachers all over the world. There is the call for the 2025 Inspiring Magazine on our website. We'll be sharing it in the Telegram group. So if you have an inspiring story that you want to share to the world, we'll be happy to receive your story in our magazine for December 2025. I'll stop here so Marie can really celebrate our female heroines. Marie, you have the floor.
Thank you, Abigail. So good afternoon or hello, everyone. And thanks, Steve and Linda, for your introduction, and Abigail for your brilliant presentation. So, and thanks to all of you for joining to discuss this relevant topic. I have the honor to be introducing to you some female leaders, impactful initiatives in the ELT associations. So without any further ado, let us start with the first one. Next, please. Okay, thank you. So the first one is Fatoumata Dambélé from Mali. So Fatoumata is a highly active and confirmed leader. She is the past president and the first female president of the Malian Association of Teachers of English Mate. So she has led numerous initiatives focused on empowering girls and women. In March 2025, she organized a training session on leadership and the use of digital tools for women. And I know many of us, we know Fatoumata Dembélé very well for her dynamism. Number 2, so you can see Rashidat Sadiq. Please quickly in the chat box, when I say Rashidat Sadiq, what comes to your mind? Quickly in the chat, what comes to your mind? Rashidat Sadiq. Anybody? Yeah, wonderful. the queen of storytelling. So Rashida is an active member of the English Language Teachers Association of Nigeria, ELTAN. So when you hear her name, you think immediately about storytelling because she's really passionate about early literacy. So she has presented her outstanding work at many conferences and webinars, both locally and internationally. So she runs a non-profit association. This is a mobile library that provides books to children, and she also conducts read aloud session to model reading. She teaches comprehension strategies, storytellings, and craft. So she's a great leader. Next, please. Okay, the next one is from Ghana. So Letitia from Ghana, who nicknamed her, who calls herself the village teacher with a global attitude. So she's a remarkable and active member of the International English Language Teachers Association of Ghana. She initiated a project with her student that uses the local community as a resource for building English language proficiency, allowing students to engage directly with community members. Yeah, Letitia, thank you. The village teacher with a global attitude. So the next one is Irene. Irene, quickly, in the chat box, what do you know about Irene? Irene Maganga, that is also well known. Irene, do you have something about Irene? Okay, wonderful. Your partner of Fulbright TA. Yes, the chat initiator. Very good. We are going to talk about that. So Irene Manganga is well known in the English Language Teachers Association network for her leadership roles in Tanzania English Language Teacher Association, TELTA, and Africa ELTA too, where she has a leadership role in the executive board. So she has launched many impactful initiatives, including the Alumni Corner and Telta Chat. So through Telta Chat, she hosts conversations with Telta members on topics ranging from effective teaching methodologies to personal success stories. These are shared on Telta's Facebook page and YouTube channel. So you can go to Telta YouTube channel to see this. It's really interesting. So these experience sharing sessions help teachers improve their practices and ultimately the students' performance. The next one is, we will stay in Tanzania for a while. So we have Catherine Njau, who is a great leader too from Telta, Africa ELTA, and TESOL. So Catherine is definitely a gender advocate and climate activist. She's well known for her work on demystifying menstruation. She raises awareness among students and leads an impactful project with them to produce reusable pads from local materials that help girls from low-income families manage menstruation without missing school. That's quite important. One of her flagship projects is planting fruit trees as part of a project-based learning initiative. The next one is Blandine Njoti from Chad. So Blandine is a dedicated and active teacher in NELTA Chad, meaning National English Language Teachers Association of Chad. She is a strong advocate for girls and women's empowerment. She regularly organizes leadership trainings for women and leads a project focused on girls' education. She is also mentor to several female teachers in her area. Next slide, please. Okay, the next one, Marie-Clémence Bansé, it's myself. So I am quite dynamic in our local association, Bright English Teachers Club of Zunwego, that I co-founded, and I'm the first president of this club. Also, I'm the Secretary General of Burkina English Teachers Association. I have initiated training sessions on new teaching methodologies for English teachers in the Zunwego province. I also lead a Young Focus project and organize conferences and work on global issues as climate change, gender equity, conflict resolution to raise awareness and build responsible global citizens. So our last example from the showcase is Amira Salama. So can you, in the chat box, write a few words for Amira, please? What do you know about Amira? Okay, hardworking women. Amira is amazing. Yeah, I can't agree more. Yeah, a mentor. Yes, Africa Health Face. Very good, wonderful. Okay, so Amira Salama from Egypt is a famous or renowned figure across Africa in ELT associations. She is the first female president of Africa ELTA and a true role model for many of us. She has initiated numerous impactful projects, including Africa ELTA Female Leadership Mentoring Program. And this flagship initiative helps awaken the leadership potential of female teachers across Africa. Many of us, including myself, I think Letitia, Abigail, Irene, are proud alumni of the program. This program is truly a blessing for African female educators. And please, I will ask the alumni of Africa ELTA Female Leadership Mentoring Program to show up in the chat box. The alumni of Africa ELTA Female Leadership Mentoring Program show up. Okay, I can see Abigail. Who else? Okay, Rose is here. Iabo, wonderful. Aisha too. Linda, Letitia, Mariam Sawadgo from Burkina. Okay, oh, you see, we are a lot here. Awoy from Mali, Anne from Tanzania. Oh my God. We can't, this program is truly a blessing for us ladies. We even have our WhatsApp platform where we continue exchanging some ideas. So thank you so much, Amira, for this great initiative. So as Abigail said, there are many other female leaders. It's for the sake of time that we only choose 7 for the showcase. So right now I think about Sally and Blessing Ruth from Elton, Nigeria, Marie-Frédéric from Ates, Senegal, Miali from Elta, Madagascar, Rose and Mariam from Burkina, Zeni from Ethiopia, Hadiza from Niger, Elizabeth in Ate, Rwanda, Moamina in Zanelta, our current Africa ELTA president, Mrs. Rita Bilin Mawela, So please, in the chat box, write the name and countries or association of ELT, association females leader that you know. There are plenty, and we are praising them, all of them, right now. So type in the chat box other leaders. Okay, so I can see Zeni. Yeah, I cited Zeni. Fauzia from Selpa. Sewa Wilson from Togo. Mam Awa, Senegal. Good. Yeah. Mwandina from Tanzania. Yes. Mwana, hi. Yeah, Blessing. Yeah, I named Blessing earlier. Fauzia from Ethiopia. Okay, so we can see that there are plenty. And they are making a difference in their association. So I think I will hand over to you, Abigail, to continue with the presentation, with the next part. Thank you so much for your participation. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Marie, for showcasing the amazing work Africa Alta females have been doing in their various teacher associations. And like you said, we could not mention all of them. And even those we mentioned in the chat box, I'm sure this is not to frustrate the others. It's either we do not know about you yet, or we omitted to mention you. So there's so many women doing amazing work, but we still have a lot more of you who still need to be encouraged to get into leadership roles. Now, let's engage a little bit. How can we engage more females to be leaders? What do you think we can do? Let's discuss or use our chatbots. What do you think we can do? What are your strategies? How do you think we can encourage women to be leaders or to take leadership roles in their different teacher associations? I'll be happy to read the chats, the responses. Someone is talking about mentorship. Yeah, we need to mentor the women so that they can be courageous enough, giving them the opportunity. Thank you so much for this. Organize meeting, planning activities with the women. Yeah, not just informing them about some decisions that we had taken in the background. Thank you. Positive discrimination, providing affirmative action. Yeah, special empowerment, training, leadership. Okay, you guys have got so many solutions. Wow. Show them the benefits of training. Yeah. That's why I was saying that all the leaders, female leaders who are inspiring, please endeavor to be accessible, endeavor to be available, be a coach to your fellow female colleagues in the teacher association. Don't be like an untouchable goddess, because this is going to frustrate your fellow females more and there will be no visible results. Support training leadership skills, recognize potentials, no matter how small. This is very, very boosting to any human being. Recognize the least positive potential that someone has. Establishing women empowerment institutions. Okay, that's a good idea. I hope the men will not take this as a threat. Engaging them to leadership, yeah. Reaching out to females to encourage them. Thank you. Engaging them actively in all programs. No one is talking about supportive spouses. Why not also talk to our men? Encourage them to be supportive. This is very important because the women may want to go for these training programs, but if they have a man that is not supportive, this is going to be difficult. So let's endeavor to talk to our men to try to be supportive to the women. Okay, giving reward for a model leader. All right, that's not bad. Avoiding sexual harassment. Oh, wow. That's true. Sharing their workloads. Okay, at home. Sharing their workload at home. Challenging them to take tasks. Very important. No matter how small, it starts from somewhere. Understand your question. Sorry, that should be a question. Participate there. Okay. Create women's leadership programs in each teacher association. Excellent. I agree with you, Amido. Challenging gender stereotypes. Supportive spouses. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we really need supportive spouses. Fighting against biases. Thank you so much for your various responses. So this is what we could suggest as best practices for empowerment. Number one, mentorship. Mentorship is the game changer. Mentor the women. So many women have skills they are unable to canalize. Help them canalize their skills so that they can be great leaders. They've got the potential, but if there is no one to show them, there's no one to help shape, orientate the potential, it's going to be a waste. Leadership training. Please, dear men, dear fellow women, let's try to help other women aspire into leadership trainings. Sorry, take leadership trainings and so aspire to leadership positions. Networking opportunities. This is one of the most important items in this webinar. Let the women know that networking after mentorship is one of the best opportunities they can have. They should be free, or they should be willing, or they should be available to men to network with the females amongst their sphere. It could be in a WhatsApp group, it could be in the teacher association, but equally out of it. When you organize webinars with other teachers, please, out of your country, please make sure you exchange contacts to be able to network. Share your experiences. It changes something in your leadership aspirations because you get to know about the works of other people and how you can be inspired. So network shouldn't be neglected. And I repeat, even within your WhatsApp group with teachers from your community, you can do networking because you do not know what everybody does. Some people do not talk or don't know how to talk about their work, but are doing amazingly well. So I'd lay emphasis on the networking opportunities for the females. This is going to be a great weapon of empowerment. Network. Go towards other women. If you admire someone, go to them, acknowledge them, ask questions, and yes, be open for mentorship as well. So the key strategies for overcoming the challenges we are taking home today is awareness. We should be aware. We should acknowledge the challenges that exist. We all know these challenges, but if we continue looking down on them, there will be little change in the future. So let's acknowledge these challenges, understand them, so that we should be able to want to change it. Yeah, acknowledge their works. Actionable strategies. We already know about the challenges. We have acknowledged. We are aware. What next? Take action. What would you do? What should you do? What must you program to do in your various communities of practice so that you get more women involved in female leadership roles within your spheres? Because if they don't start in the TA, they wouldn't be, the teacher association, local teacher associations, they might not be able to go across to larger TAs around them. So please take actionable strategies by developing concrete steps towards empowering the women. We've already talked about the various steps. And then strengthen networks. I'll just keep saying that networking after mentorship is a game changer in professional development, building connections among women educators. For now, all the women we've cited there who are amazing female leaders are equally amazing mentors and amazing women as a whole. They are open, they are available to mentor any other female who want to repeat their actions in their own teacher associations. We are all available. Get to us and we'll give you ideas, we'll encourage you, help you sharpen your skills. Now, so what are the takeaways? what should we be doing next Friday in our Telegram group? You shall be investigating the situation in your teacher association. How many women are leaders? Why are the other women not willing to take leadership roles? What should you do so that these women take leadership roles? And so you're going to be assigning leadership roles to those women who have not been taking them. Assign them leadership roles or leadership initiatives, no matter how small. It could be by asking someone to post something educative in the English language teaching practice. For example, you're not asking them to be the president of the TA. No, just give them a little task in their WhatsApp group, in the Telegram group, and the Facebook group for a start, and see how they work their way into taking initiatives. And that's how you start building leadership skills for teachers. You could also you could look for more ideas at the africa.teachingenglish.org.uk female voices. You would have some more ideas on how to do that. So we'll be waiting to read the results of the task, your investigation in your TA, and the initiatives that you took. Finally, we would say that it's important for women to be empowered in our teacher associations because of all the reasons we've listed, and because of the impact that women have in quality education worldwide, not only in Africa. Oh, sorry. Thank you. That was all. I think we are open for questions now.
Thank you so much, Abigail and Marie. So many really interesting ideas and loads of interaction in the chat. So everyone's really interested, which is great. I know you've addressed loads of those things already, but there's also several questions. So let's see how many we can get through now. And please don't worry if we don't answer all the questions now, and we'll go to the WhatsApp group, the Telegram group on Friday for more discussion. And the first question, I think Abigail addressed this, so let's go to Marie. First question, why do you think women don't have enough self-esteem or don't love themselves so much? There was a little discussion going on in the group. Marie, any ideas on this?
Thank you, Linda. I won't say we don't love ourselves. We love ourselves, but for the self-esteem, it depends on the role assigned to us in the society. So, you know, if you grow up in a society where you are educated, like you are a woman, so you should always be under the man's responsibility. So it's difficult for you to take initiatives. I don't know if people share my idea, but it's a matter of education. That low self-esteem come from our education, the environment in which we grow up.
Do you think it's related to a nice question here from Kefyalu from Ethiopia, I think here. How do you suggest empowering women who live in rural areas and economically disadvantaged areas, like in Sub-Saharan Africa? Because it's more difficult, isn't it? Any suggestions?
Yeah, the suggestion here is, for example, for us who are educators, and next to we always work with children at school. So from there, for the beginning, we can be a role model for the little girls. And also in our classes, we need to assign leadership roles to girls. That's what I'm doing right now. So in each class, if the captain is a boy, the other can be a lady, or you support the ladies to go forward and take initiative. So I think that as female teachers, it's our role to be a role model for these girls and encourage them take initiatives.
Great.
And also
that one role each is like that positive discrimination as well.
Yes. As Abigail mentioned too, we need to be mentors to other female teachers in general. Yeah.
Oh, great. No, great. How about Abigail now? We've got a few questions here. What makes a female a better leader or mentor than a male? Abigail, what's your take on that? Is it true for a start?
I was expecting a question like that, and I'm sure that question comes from a male. Well, maybe we omitted saying this in the beginning. This is not a comparison. We are not trying to challenge the men and the quality of leadership. We're just trying to encourage the women to also take leadership roles because we believe that women could be as good leaders as men if they are given the chances. So both could be good leaders. No one should be better than the other. But of course, the men are better because of the societal privileges that they have. And what the main objective of this webinar is to be able to permit the women to have equal chances to be, and you discover that we can be amazing leaders as well.
Okay, lovely, lovely answer. Great. Um, what would you advise for our fellow female English language teachers in creating a women's association at state country level? Do we need specific women's associations? What's your advice? Abby, start with you.
I'm very, very happy to answer this. So I would want to take the example of English language teaching women Cameroon, and I'll be happy to give a lot more information about this. So initially, our special interest group was a special interest group for our for our association, and it still is. But we thought that to be open to the world, so we don't canalize our energy, our skills only in our teacher associations. We want to legalize English language teaching Cameroon, and we are now a civil society association with broader perspectives. We want to work more in having we want to work with other international organizations, which may not necessarily be teacher associations. So even though we remain teachers, we remain a special interest group for our National Mother Association. We are aspiring to work with other international NGOs and bodies. So we show the world that as a teacher, and more importantly, as a female teacher, we have a lot to share, a lot to give the community. So yes, we could go to creating an association, but there should be, it is important that we explain this so people don't think that we are trying to compete with the mother associations. That's not the case. We are just trying to be ambitious and trying to broaden the opportunities for the females.
Great. Hyliab has put, have you created a association? Have you put the link to your Cameroon Women's Association in the chat, Abigail?
I think I need a permission from Steve to do that.
Okay.
I don't know if Steve would
Yeah, you
permit.
can go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We'll do it.
That is one that Abigail started up. There was another question saying, is there a leader in Nigeria? Does any of you know?
So many leaders in Nigeria. We named some of them. Blessing, Sally, Akintola. There's so many.
Yes.
Rude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this
so
is
many.
what we need to do for networking so that people find out who are their local leaders. And I think the teacher associations, the ELTAs have a big role to play themselves. They don't need a special association for women. It can be part of the main association, maybe a special interest group. And we don't need to exclude men at all. It's great to have all women associations, but women and men working for the same aims, I think is
and
wonderful.
that's why this year we sponsored a man to our national conference, because we want to show the men that we are not excluding them from our initiatives. We want to encourage everybody, but we just need a supportive environment to grow.
Yes, excellent. Yeah. Another interesting question here, maybe for both of you. How can we strengthen socio-emotional learning skills among female leaders in Africa? I don't know if that's a particular need. Socio-emotional learning skills. Marie, maybe? For women, for female leaders?
Yeah, for female leaders, I would say maybe we, as I said earlier, we need to to meet in first among us female, and if we have some leaders, yeah, we organize some trainings, talk about socio-emotional learning. Yeah, because we know that women, they seem to be weak, but we are stronger than what we, we seem to be. So I think that, and I experienced that sometimes when we meet and there is like no men, we talk about our fears, our weaknesses, and try to find out solutions to be stronger and to take initiatives. So I think that, and at the beginning too, in Beta, in our association, Burkina English Teacher Association, we didn't have a specific female group, but we tried to create a WhatsApp group where we discuss, and I can tell you it's beneficial. So we can advise each other and also encourage each other. It's very necessary.
I think it's really important for men to be able to talk about their weaknesses as well, because men often feel they have to be strong. So maybe we can have men's groups, women's groups, groups for everybody to talk about weaknesses, how we can turn these into strengths. There's
Yes,
another
it's
one
all
here.
about supporting each other.
Yeah, yeah. And the last question here, I think. Abigail, what do you think? Why do women often spend more time supporting men when they should be supporting other women?
I don't think we're wasting our time supporting men. No, we're not. We're just doing our role. I mean, we are women. Our main role is to support. So, well, we just want the men to copy us and support us as well. But that's very pertinent because, like I was saying, if you are a female inspiring leader and you are not accessible to your female colleagues, then you are not doing a good job. One of the great qualities of a female leader is that she should be accessible, available to help her fellow female. Yeah. So if
Excellent.
you're not doing that as a female leader, please, you need to work on that, being accessible to encourage.
And the men as well have need to be accessible.
I,
A lot
I
of
would
these
Yeah.
things go
add,
for both, don't they? I think. Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
would add to what Gail said, to say that I don't think that you are a leader if you are unable to support your fellows.
Great.
Yeah.
One of the important leadership skills, isn't it? Yes. Okay, great. Do we have one word for each for the last question? How can we empower little girls in classes? So maybe primary school girls, maybe 2 or 3 words each. Abby?
I would say create a club. I have a club called Girls Community Club in my school, and that I try to train my little girls to grow up to be women like me. So
And Marie?
create a club.
Okay, role model, and also give them, encourage them to take leadership roles in class or at the school.
There's so many great ideas, and you are obviously such good role models yourselves, and there are so many others as well. So yeah, that's all the questions we have time for today, I'm afraid. But please come to the Telegram group on Friday and ask more questions. Thank you so much, everyone, for all the interaction. Thank you so much, Marie and Abby. Over to Steve to finalize. Yeah.
All right,
Close.
awesome. Thanks, Linda, for sharing the floor. Thanks everyone for joining today. It was actually a very interactive webinar.